Hello, everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who is listening right now in the podcast. Today is Thursday, February the 6th, 2025. I wanted to come here and share this story with you guys regarding something that happened at a church. And, it's like, of course, I got to come here and tell you that. But before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has been watching the videos on YouTube and subscribing. If you ever need prayer, you don't even have to say your name. You can always email me, Julissadesigns.com. If you need prayer, please be specific, okay? And also want to thank you. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who listens using Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for being here and listening. Don't forget to follow me using Spotify, okay? So I was watching a video. But by the way, though, today a lot of things happen. And if you follow me already on YouTube, you can see that I've been posting a lot of reels regarding today was National Prayer Breakfast, right? Something that the White House does every year, right? But today was very, it's a new leadership on right now. So it was just great to see, like, every second. I was so excited to see how it was like this emphasis about believing in the Lord, right? I know it was National Prayer Day or National Breakfast prayer, but it was just so rare to see this strong belief about praying in Jesus' name. Okay, I was so happy to see that. I was happy to see how things are changing for the good. Everything that the evil had done is basically, being rebirthed back, is taken back, okay? And I am so thankful, you guys. You have no idea. And I'm sure if you've been following everything, all the changes that are happening. I'm not saying I agree with like, there's a lot of things happening, right? But all I'm saying is that what I saw today make me very happy when it came to seeing all these people in leadership praying in Jesus' name, okay? That to me is amazing. I think we as Christians should never be so focused on the routine that we ignore things like this that are happening. Okay, it's almost like you've been a Christian your whole life and then Jesus is returning and you're like, oh yeah, hold on, Jesus, I gotta go do something, right? It's like live in the moment, see what is happening in before your eyes. Okay, there's a lot of great things happening. I understand there's a lot of bad too, but when it comes to things that people, I mean, the hostages waiting so long. A lady was in jail because she was praying outside an abortion clinic. Are you serious, right? And all of these positive things that are happening because, we have somebody who believes in the Lord, who is coming, giving such a great testimony, right? Regardless of how you might feel about him, maybe compared to what he did 4 years ago, whatever, right? And it's so crazy. I was not even going to say anything about that. You have to look at what's happening in the moment and how God changes people. Okay, there's a lot of, it's a lot of gratefulness that I hear from him regarding everything that happened back in June, right, or July. We all know what happened to him. I don't want to get into details now, but I want to come here, guys, and tell you that we as Christians should be paying attention to all of that stuff, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in the routine and just like, this is the schedule that we have to follow. This is what we have to do. And it's like, are you serious? Like I said, Jesus will be coming down in the clouds and people are like, hold on, Jesus, we're rehearsing today for something. It's like, are you serious? Don't miss the moment. That's the whole point that I'm trying to say. But speaking about that, because everything that's happening, you need to know that when it comes to new leadership, there's always going to be another group of people who are not happy. A lot of people who are not happy about all these changes and because of whatever it is that they believe. So I think, I have said this before. I think churches should definitely increase their security. Okay. I think that's something that's so needed. We can't be like, oh, God is going to protect me. Yes, but God doesn't want you to be stupid, okay? God doesn't want you to be stupid. You have to be aware and you have to know what the times that are happening. Like, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, we're so caught up in our bubble of Christianity that we forget. The world is really getting bad too. There's a lot of violence that is happening. So we cannot be ignorant. And if anything, you should look at the example of Peter, right? Peter, when they came for Jesus, he was armed basically, right? So you can be like, well, the disciples walk all over the place. They didn't need anything. That's an example that you have to think about. When they came for Jesus, Peter wasn't like, well, he reacted with the weapon, right? He had something in him to protect them because they knew, the message of the cross is always going to be scandalous. It's always going to, it's always going to cause some type of, it's going to cause some type of trouble in people that are saying, wait, telling somebody, hey, you're walking the wrong way. And they're like, well, I'm like, I walked my whole life going the wrong way. Nobody wants to hear that, right? So, it definitely, gets people angry. So that's something that you have to remember. Be aware of your surroundings, right? Don't be sharing like exactly where you're going, exactly what is happening, right? Because there's a lot of changes that are happening and not a lot of people are happy either. There's a group of people, like a lot of us are happy, super happy to see it, but then you have the other group who's not. And they were saying a priest that got attacked today at a church. I think it happened today. And there's a video out there, just FYI guys, I'm gonna see if I can put the video here. I didn't record the video, but every time I come here and share with you some type of video that I find, that I make a video, that I come here and tell you about it, I always have to put background music because I don't own the video, right? And just so that I can share it safely, I guess you can say. That's the reason why I put music. I know some people say, just don't put the music if you're going to share or something. There's a reason for everything, right? So that is the reason, one of the main reasons. Or if I put like 10 seconds of it, I can never put the whole thing because it's not, I'm sharing it. I don't really own it. So here's the thing, you guys. What happened? So it says here, a priest was attacked during church service for healing, and he said he did not know the assailant. This was very random, guys. It was a regular Catholic church service, excuse me, and everybody's sitting down like they normally will do, very organized, right? And the priests, they're doing something on the stage, preaching, I guess you can say. I'm not that familiar with Catholic way of, teaching. So I'm just describing the video, right? So out of nowhere, this lady comes out from the bench and gets on the stage and start attacking. She is hitting the priest in the face. And if anything, you're like, oh my God, not only that, it's a female, she's a young female, right? Just sitting there, cheating, call out. Sometimes you can tell when people are going to attack you because they start screaming, they start pointing at you, or the body language says everything. She was just sitting there, listening, right? And out of nowhere, she decided to run to the stage and attack this priest, okay? And it happened in Washington State. It says here, Washington State priest whose assault was captured on a church live stream during service, devoted to healing, said he did not know his attacker and had never seen him before. Okay, actually, it was not a female; it was a man. I do apologize about that. Maybe it's the long hair really threw me off here from the video, but it was a man that attacked the priest. Okay, the Reverend David Gaines of Our Lady of Lourdes in Spokane said Thursday that the attacker was brought to the service by the people who had taken him off the street and believed he could find some healing from whatever he was struggling with. I've seen that happen a lot, but there's a lot of people with, I think I did that when I was growing up in the Dominican Republic with my family. Just, you know, people who were less fortunate, I guess you can say. Growing in a Christian home, you see things like this. My mom will be, if she could feed the whole block, she would do it. So she always has something, she always has something to give to the less fortunate ones. She will make friends with people that were living on the street, the homeless, and definitely invite them to church too. So this is a very common thing, I guess you can see. And so this man, a 40-year-old, was brought to the church um, from a family who said, they're doing a healing service. You can benefit from that. You want to come to church today? And then this is what happened, okay? It says here that worshippers intervene and restrain the suspect, a 40-year-old man, until authorities arrive. Actually, in the video, you can hear somebody yell out, "Call security." Like, call security? This guy just jumped on stage. Security, if they had security, security should have been on top of it, okay? This is what I'm talking about. It's so important to have, right? It says here, worshippers intervene and restrain the suspect, a 40-year-old man, and then he was arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor assault and is being held on outstanding felony warrants. Okay. The police spokesman said it's not clear what prompted the attack, which happened at 6:20 p.m. on Tuesday. Okay, so it happened this week, Tuesday, during what Gaines described as novena service, in which churchgoers pray for healing over 9 days. Gaines had just given the bishop his prayer card and knelt when he said he saw a man running towards the church sanctuary. He said, "We made eye contact right at that moment. He looked very upset and kind of intense." In a video of the assault, the man wearing shorts and a sweatshirt appeared to strike Gaines before a brief struggle. Yeah, actually, it's so crazy because I actually thought it was a female, but it was a man. Maybe the eye contact, when people are not used to, anything can happen, right? This man was brought in probably the first time to the church for healing or whatever. Maybe, it could have been anything that he thought, right? And then, or maybe he was being, it could have been so many things going on through this man, right? That's why the family thought that he would benefit from going to the church service. So he says, it's definitely not something I expected to happen as a priest. God allows these sort of things to happen, and then we want to figure out how to use it for the good. Well, God always uses the bad for the good, right? Getting added that he has a tender place in his heart for the man who said he clearly needs healing, right? Of course, right? You can tell when somebody reacts like that, they're dealing with something so terrible that they just, they react like this, right? So it's just sad to see this priest get attacked like that. And at the same time, I hope this man didn't stay. Well, he's gonna be probably in jail, and then they're gonna evaluate him and see how he's doing mentally, right? So I just, what I'm trying to say, hopefully the church continues on, that family that tried to help him continues on to, I guess, finish, their calling for him, that they wanted to help him out and offer prayer, right? It's just crazy to see the attack. You can hear them screaming and stuff when they were like on the floor, like struggling. But I'm gonna see if I can put the video here. If you guys are listening on the podcast, feel free to come to the YouTube channel, Julissadesigns, so you can take a look. But yeah, these are the times that we need to pray for things like this, that they don't happen. But like I said, keep in mind everything that's happening here, especially in the US, if you live here in the world, right? You look at, just take a look at what people are protesting. One day you have people marching pro-life, right? Let's just say, and the next day people are protesting, they want to deport Elon Musk, right? This is how divided everything is, right? Everything is like there's a big group of people forward with this thing, and then you have the other group. So you need to know things like this are going to happen, right? Especially in the last days. But if anything, think about the example of Peter. when they came to attack, they came to grab Jesus, even though Jesus, he said to Peter, don't, kind of like, don't do that, right? This in the Bible. He said that to Peter, but Peter wasn't, he reacted, he was armed, right? He had a weapon to defend himself, right? So, I think the reason Jesus said that was, in this is just my opinion, guys. He said it because, he had a bigger purpose, right? So it was meant to happen that they were going to come and get him, right? So let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Here's the video. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.